Okay, so now we're doing change the file size of a JPEG. That's the next size. And what we're doing is making the size of the video file that we create in GIMP, we're making it smaller for whatever reason you want a smaller file size for. So when you export an image to a format like a JPEG is a lossy compression algorithm, meaning that when you save the image to the JPEG format from the original format, the quality of the image will start to go down. And this exercise is going to show you how that works. And you will clearly be able to see how a higher quality image loses some of its definition, or how it looks. It gets pixelated when you reduce the size of it. So the beginning of this lesson says use the original Horsehead Nebula, and that is where we're going to start. Remember, I need to collect evidence here, so you're going to need another A4 image to paste the image onto. So first, let's go get the original image. Where did we put it last time? So we're going to open, there it is, Horsehead Hubble, right there. That's my 1225 image, and it's going to ask me if I want to convert it, and yes I do. And there's my image. Now the text says use the same Horsehead Nebula image and resize it to 200 pixels wide. Well, you already know how to resize it in GIMP, so let's go ahead and do that now. Let's resize, and remember we go to Image, Scale Image, and then we just make it 200 pixels wide. So that's 200, just like that. And it's going to drop it down in size. And so we're going to put scale. And you can see it made it pretty small. And then we go back to our text, and let's look closer at it. And we want to export it using different levels of compression. So let's look at the different levels it's going to be. So the first is 100, 80, 60, 40, 20, and 10. So let's go ahead and export that, and we're going to put it into that folder that we created before. So going back to GIMP here, we're going to click File, and we're going to export as, or you can use the hotkey Shift-Control-E. And it's going to be in change the, what's the name of this again? Change the file size. So that's where it's going to go. And we're going to put it there. And we're going to just call this Horsehead Hubble 100%. And then you click Export. Once you click Export, you got this window that pops up. And you see right here where it says quality, you can change it all the way down to 0 to 100. That's where you make your adjustments at. So we're going to start with 100, and it does like that. And then we're going to export again, export as, and we're going to change this to 80%, just like that. And you can see the other one is here. This is the 100% right here. Now we're changing it to 80, and we're going to export it. And you get that menu, that window that pops up, and we're going to select 80, just like that. And that's how that works. And we export it. And next is 60. So we're going to do export as, and you can see the file size is reducing. So here was 100%. Then we're going to 80%. And now we're going to do 60%. And it's going into that same folder, and we click 60%, just like that. And we click Export, and our window pops open, and we change this to 60, just like that. Export, and then we go back again, and we go to Export as, and we change this to 40, because now we're going to 40%. And you see the file size is reducing, 100, 80, 60. Now let's export again. We're going to 40%. And when we create the evidence page and put all this together, you'll see how it changes. And now we're going to 20%. Export as 20%. No. Oh. Make that a 2. Okay. Then we click export. Brings this up here. We change this to 20. And we click export. And then the last one is 10%. We go to export as, delete 10%, and then we click export. Change that to a 1. Export. Now, when I bring up my image, my Windows folder, and let's bring it over here. Now let's go find those pictures. They're in my GIMP folder that I created. GIMP Quickies, change file size. And here are all my images here. My 100, 60, 20, 125, well, 100. And let's go ahead and put them on an A4 image. So let's go back to GIMP. So here's GIMP, and we need to create a new A4 image. And it's going to be here, and we want the background to be white, just like that. And we click OK. Now let's go add these images. Open as layers, because we want to be able to move these around. So I'm going to select this one all the way to here, and I'm pressing. Now I can press one at a time, or I can press 10%. And let's get the original one too, because we want it all. So press the top one, which is a big 760 kilobytes. And then we're going to press Shift and then press the bottom one, and all of them will be selected. And we're opening as layers, which means it's going to create 6 layers, 6 or 7 layers on the right side in the layer box. And here it goes. After convert, and you can see on the right side the layers are automatically being added here. Okay, so it looks like 2 pictures, but it's not. It's actually 6. So let's take that first picture here, the big one, and let's just move it right here. And then we got our 100, and we'll grab our 100. Is that 100? Yes. How do you know? Because whenever you click on it, you can see in the layers on the right side which layer you're dealing with. And that's the one I'm doing right here. And here's the last one. Okay, so we got to label all this. So I want to move all these down. So can I select them all? How do I select all? No. Okay. Oh, don't do that, Mark. Okay. So let's pull these down, actually, down to here. There's a way to move them all, and this is not it. But I'm moving them down here because I'm going to move this one down too. Okay, and so this is going to look like when you zoom in, we're going to add some text, and we're going to call this 100%. Okay, and then we're going to let's duplicate it, and then we're going to call this one 80%. And then we're going to move it. If I click on the right one. go. And that's the 80. So I'm just going to relabel this 80%. And then I can duplicate it again. Duplicate layer. I'm going to rename it here to 60. Right there. And then I'm going to move it. I keep grabbing this one, so I don't want to grab this one actually, so I'm going to see if I lock this in place. And not. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. Let's zoom in, that'll help. I keep trying to grab it, and I can't. Where's my magnifying glass? Is this it? No, that's the burn tool. This is the zoom tool, so let's zoom in. Okay, so there we go. So it works like Google. And now I can grab the number and pull it off, just like that. When I press Shift, I can scroll to the right, just like that. And then I'm going to do 60%. And then let's duplicate the 60. Duplicate layer. And since I'm on it, I can make this 40%. And then I'm just going to grab it, and it's going to go down here. I better change this part right here, 40%. And then it's going to go right below. If I do Control and roll the mouse wheel, I zoom out. And I can put this one right here. And then let's duplicate this again. And we're going to call this 20% or 20. And let's grab it, drag it over, press the text button and make that 20. Let's duplicate again, duplicate layer, and call this 10. 10, just like that. And now I'm going to go back here, type the 1, and then I'm going to grab it and pull it right there. Now let's zoom out by pressing Control and rolling the mouse wheel backwards. And there we go. And this is the let's just put original image down here. We'll type ORI original image, and that's 1225 by 1280, like that. And these images are the scaled images, and we'll put this over here, and these are a file, changing the size, the file size. Change file size, just like that. And the original size of the image is 200 pixels wide. Just like that. Now I want to show you something real quick. Let's zoom into the first one here and look at it. Now if I go ahead and look at this image over here, as large as it is, it's a big image. But when I go over here to this one here, to 100, it's not so big, but I can still zoom in. Let me see, let me come over. And let me scroll here, and then let's zoom in. And you can start to see these little individual pixels that hold color, and the different color makes up the image. Well, let's go look at the 80% and look what that looks like. Now you have more pixels. So we took a lot of images, took a lot of information out of the image when we changed the size. Now let's look at this one. And so that one's even more pixelated. It's starting to really look a little bit grainy. Let's go to this one down here. Look at that one. It makes more sense when you zoom out, but when you zoom in, it looks like that. And let's go to this one. Look at these large blocks now. When you took all that information out, it's a very small file size now, and we'll look at that next. But let's look at the last one. Let's scroll over here. The image is almost unrecognizable. So let's zoom out. And from a distance, you can't see it as well. But when you zoom in, you can really see it. Let's copy. Let's go back to the text, and let's copy the information at the top. Let's go back to GIMP. Let's zoom out, and let's paste this at the top of the page. And then let's put my name at the bottom. Just like that. That way it identifies as mine. So the next thing we're going to do is to save the image, and we're going to put change file size. And I've kind of messed up my file. I've kind of messed up my how I'm doing this, so I'm going to have to go back and fix this. I messed that up again. Change file size. And it shouldn't be in this folder, so I'm going to have to go fix that later. And now I've just changed the original GIMP file. Now I need to export this file. And I want to change file size. There it is. And export. It's going to bring up that dialog box from before. And I want this to be at 100% quality because I want it to look good. And it's going out as a JPEG. And I'm going to export it now. Export. And there we go. Cool.